When it comes to making the crawling spiders of Google happy, you've got to feed them the good stuff, the on-page, the off-page, and technical SEO. But does the word technical put you off? Does it sound quite simply too technical? Don't you worry, because I'm Holly, and today we're going to share the lowdown on technical SEO for another episode of Giant Wednesday. So let's kick it off with an explanation. What is technical SEO? Technical SEO is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's the technical side of optimizing your website for search engines. Like other parts of SEO, such as on-page SEO and off-page SEO, it's all about making your website do what it needs to do for the likes of Google. So it shows up to customers when they come a-looking. The main pillars of technical SEO are making your website faster, easier to crawl, and understandable for search engines. And those are also obviously the benefits. All of that's achieved by concentrating on the, yep, you guessed it, technical bits. This, together with a focus on on-page SEO and off-page SEO, will see your website flourish online. So, what are the technical bits that make up technical SEO, I hear you ask? Let's delve deeper. What's involved in technical SEO? There's a lot of elements involved with technical SEO. So today I'm going to focus on loading speed, functionality and usability, and user friendliness. Starting with number 1, loading speed. The loading speed refers to the time it takes for a website to download and display on a user's browser. Naturally, you want this to be fast. Google knows we've got a limited attention span, so considers it as a bad user experience if it's slow. As you can see on the screen, a page speed of 1 to 3 seconds increases the bounce rate probability of 32%, whereas a 1 to 10 second speed has a bounce rate probability of 123%. This falls under the technical SEO category because the elements that impact site speed are technical. If you use tools like Google's Page Speed Insights or Lighthouse, you can monitor a web page's site speed and see the areas for improvement. You'll see why it's called technical SEO when you get into that. Things that might impact site speed are the likes of server response time, web hosting, caching, JavaScript and CSS, optimizing image sizes, and file compression. Moving on to the second part, functionality and usability. First and foremost, you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Google will prioritize mobile friendly sites when it comes to indexing your website, which is the order they display it in the search engine result pages. If your website doesn't work well on small screen devices, then that's one of your first actions. Ideally, you'd have a responsive design rather than making a fully separate mobile version. And most website builders nowadays come with this as a feature in their builders. A responsive design essentially means your website will resize itself based on screen size. You can also look to edit individual elements based on screen sizes. For example, shortening titles, changing font sizes, removing imagery, etc. when you move from desktop to mobile. URL structure. Other areas to improve functionality and usability for both the user and the robots are things like URL structure. You want to make sure your URL structure is optimized to avoid this. This helps users and robots understand context, which ultimately is king. To build friendly URLs, use dashes instead of underscores, make it short and concise, and use your focus keywords. Making your website secure. Flying through these, our next focus is making sure your website is secure. I'm talking HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. This is essentially a data layer to protect yourselves and website users, and is a ranking factor under technical SEO to help prove to Google you protect your users. This is a nice, easy one to implement. You'll need to buy an SSL certificate and implement it. Boom, easy. But if you were an HTTP site before moving over to HTTPS, then make sure you set up a 301 redirect so users aren't presented by 404 pages when trying to find your site. If you don't know how to do redirects, then check out this Giant Wednesday about redirects because they'll tell you how to do it. Robots.txt. An important part of technical SEO is having a robots.txt file, a file that contains information about how a search engine should crawl the information around your site. That's right, this one's for the robots. It's mainly used to avoid overloading your site with requests, but also just helps that all-important search engine crawl. Whilst not necessary for search engines to crawl your site, what it does is prevent duplicate content from appearing in search engine result pages, keeps sections of your site private, like staging pages, and prevents the indexation of things like PDFs or images which you might not want out there. All of this benefiting your SEO. Moving on to the third and final section, user friendliness. This is all about looking at how you can make the user's experience on your website smooth. There seems to be a theme today. User-friendly websites are a crucial part of SEO now and when looking into the future of SEO. With the evolution of machine learning technology, we expect it to continue, if not grow, to be more important. You've got to please the robots. But to do that, you've got to first please the user. Elements of technical SEO you can do to make your site more user-friendly include the likes of adding breadcrumbs for better navigation, something we've covered in an episode before actually. But this is all about setting out clear paths to navigation for the user to find where they came from on your website, as well as painting the picture to the robots about your site structure. On a similar subject, you just want to make sure the navigation of your site is permanently available or easy to access for the users. This could be the menu or the footer, but consider what your users want to see. Make sure it's there. For example, there's nothing more annoying than not being able to find the menu on a restaurant site, the services on a B2B site, or the delivery charges on a retail site, right? Hopefully, all the elements I've mentioned today have removed the fear factor associated with the term technical SEO. It's really not that scary, but it is important. Like I said, these aren't all the elements of technical SEO. There's so many, but these should give you enough to think about for now. Put that together with on-page and off-page SEO, you'll have a search engine-friendly super site and will dominate the likes of Google. All you've got to do now is start. If you have any questions, then pop a comment below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more great digital themed content. This has been Giant Wednesday. I've been Holly. Thank you for watching. Oh, I nearly tripped on that. I was like, do not. Do you want me to say it like mobile friendly?
Yeah, I don't know why that's important.
It's not funny. It's not funny. I talk about this all the time with clients. Okay, test tool. No. Knew that was going to go wrong. You laughed, I didn't. I was being really good there. Like and subscribe to our channel and more great digital theme content. That did not make sense. For. Yeah, and for. By, why, how. The.